Hi, thank you so much for joining me. In this guided healing journey, we're going to be working with the unworthiness wound. So, this, of course, affects our self worth and our self esteem, and it is threaded through every aspect of our life. The unworthiness wound or the self worth wound is really closely linked to not feeling or being good enough. It's also closely linked to fear of abandonment and rejection, and it's also goes hand in hand with not deserving. So the unworthiness wound was usually formed very, very early, and in fact, in my experience, it was often formed in the womb before you even were born. And it is, as I said, spreaded and threaded throughout every aspect of your life. So when we carry this particular wound, we are likely to attract to us situations and people that constantly reinforce that we are unworthy. So it's really, really essential that we look to actually clearing this, healing the wound, and bringing yourself back into balance in this area. Okay, so if you'd like to join me on this guided healing journey, I would love that very much. Now, it's going to take about 25 minutes, so if you want to find yourself a comfortable place where you're not going to be interrupted. Good, excellent. So to begin, I'm going to get you to take a few deep and relaxing breaths. Nice, natural, relaxing breaths. Good. And I'm going to get you to call back any energy that you've left in different times and different places. So all you need to do is literally ask that I call back any energy I've left in different times and different places to return to me now. And you might notice the beautiful light moving across the sky, coming in towards your body. And just notice as your energy now starts to enter in through your crown chakra and starts to come down past your third eye and your throat, and down past your heart, your solar plexus, down past your sacral, your root chakra, and all the way down your legs and all the way down to your feet. Good. Now that's an excellent exercise to do actually each day, because we do leave our energy in different times and different places just throughout the day, as well as many of the people that I work with often leave their bodies quite frequently, especially when they're feeling unsafe. And what can often happen is that we don't bring all of our energy back when we return to our body. So to begin, what I want you to do is I want you to notice the beautiful golden fire of the Christ grid up above you in the sky. And I want you to call that energy to you now. Just call the beautiful energy, the golden energy of the Christ grid down towards you. As it starts to come in towards the room that you're in, I want you to notice this beautiful golden fire of the Christ grid just spreading all the way across the ceiling, down the walls. And what it's doing is it's sealing and protecting the space that you're in. So just allow it to come down through the walls, across the windows, all the way along the floor, until you're completely sealed in this beautiful golden Christ energy chamber. Good. That's looking and feeling really good. Well done. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do, first of all, is I want you to think about a particular time where you felt really unworthy. You might have felt like you weren't worthy of getting this particular praise, or there might be something that you're really wanting to do, a job that you're wanting to apply for, a person that you're wanting to see, but you feel really unworthy. Or it might even be in a relationship where your partner or an ex-partner has made you feel like you're just not worthy of anything better. So I just want you to think about that particular scenario now. Good. Now, once you've got a scenario, I'd like you to just spend a moment diving back into that, because what we're doing is we're looking for a bit of a trigger. We want to raise a trigger, an emotional trigger in your body. So just dive back into that scenario. Just remember where you were, what you were doing, who else was there, what was said, what was done, and how you felt. Excellent. So I want you to notice now, whereabouts in your body is this emotional charge sitting? Good. Now, it might be in more than one place. If it is, just focus on the area that feels more intense for you. Where does it feel more intense? Good, excellent. Now you've got that area, I want you to focus on that part of your body, and I want you to notice, first of all, how does it feel physically for you? Great. And it might be tight, it might be heavy, it might be spiky or hot. Once you've identified how it feels physically, I want you to dive a little bit deeper, and I'd like you to notice what emotions are sitting in that part of your body. Good. Now I'd like you to dive even deeper, and what's sitting underneath that, because there's probably going to be things like, of course, unworthiness, there might be rejection, there might be shame or sadness or grief. There'll be very deep emotions. So just see if there's anything else sitting there. Great. Good. You're doing really well. So now we're going to go a wee bit deeper, and this is where we're going to go into your subconscious mind. What I'd like you to do now is sitting in amongst those emotions that you identified, and there might have been some words like I feel unworthy, or I feel rejected, or not good enough. So those might be sitting there too. So I'd like you to dive into those emotions, and I'd like you to notice the other version of yourself that's sitting in there. Now, it's very likely to be a young child, not definitely, but I'd say very likely to be a young child, or even, as I said before, an unborn baby. So I'd like you to connect with that part of you now. And if you're having trouble connecting with that part of you, I want you to imagine that you can. I want you to imagine that you can connect with the part of you that feels these emotions. Good. Well done. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to notice, how are they feeling? How are they feeling right now? Good. So there might be things like they might be feeling shame, or they might be feeling alone, or they might be feeling abandoned or rejected. So just take a note of what they are thinking and feeling. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go actually to them. So I want you to imagine yourself, or see or feel yourself going to that other version of you. As I said, that's likely to be a child, or a very young child, or even baby or unborn baby. If they're small enough, I want you to go in and I want you to pick them up. I want you to hold them and I want you to let them know that I'm here now, I see you, and I'm here to love you and never ever abandon you again. Good, good. Excellent. Now, just thinking back to what you picked up, intuited about how they were feeling before, I'd like you to replay those things to them and give them the reassurance that they need. So, for example, if they were feeling ashamed, I want you to say to them something along the lines of, I know that you're feeling really ashamed right now, but I want you to know that there is nothing about you that you need to feel ashamed about. I love you very, very much. So I'll get you to do that now. Good. And if you need more time, just take more time. The key is that we want to acknowledge everything that they're feeling and we want to play that back to them. The other key is resonance. So if the words that I'm saying to you don't quite resonate with you, please feel free to play around with them so that they fit you better, so that they align, because that's what's most important in this healing. So I want you to ask them, they've got stuff to say. They've been holding on to trauma and emotional trauma and feelings about themselves that they need to express to you. So I want you to let them know that I know that you've got some really important stuff that you want to say. Would you like to share that with me now? Good. And depending on what they have to say, we want to, again, paraphrase that back to them. We want to replay that back to them, I should say. So we want to say to them, if they're feeling really bad about being who they are, or they're feeling ashamed or guilty about being them, I want you to say to them, I know that you're feeling ashamed and guilty about who you are. But I want you to know that you are a beautiful, beautiful little boy or little girl, and I am so proud of who you are. I also feel like I'd like to say to them that what has happened was not their fault. Something has happened to them to cause them to feel like this. So I want you to let them know that what happened was not about them. It was actually about the other person that was involved. And what has happened is not their fault. There's nothing different that they could have done, or they couldn't be any different. There's nothing else they could have done or could have behaved like that would have created a different outcome. So letting them know that it's not their fault, and that that how they are isn't the reason for this. It is about the other person. Good. So I'd like you to ask them again, is there anything else that they would like you to know? Good. And once again, we'll just play that back to them and give them the reassurances that they need. Great. Excellent. So now I'd really like you to ask them, what beliefs have they formed about themselves as a result of this wound? Because they will have formed beliefs and they will be playing those beliefs out every single day. Right. So, depending what their beliefs are, once again, we're going to actually play them back to them and give them the reassurances that those beliefs are actually not true. Okay. So, for example, if they said, if they've got a belief that they're not worthy, I'd like you to say to them something along the lines of, I know that you have a belief that you're not worthy, but I want you to know that that is not true. You are so worthy. You are worthy of being loved, of being cared for, of belonging, and of having joy. And I am going to give you all of those things. Good. I'll get you to do that now. Excellent. And so, due to that particular belief, would you like to ask them what patterns do they play out, or what patterns have they formed because of that belief? Because they will overcompensate somehow. They might people please, they might not ever say no, they might have to always stand in the background and not be seen, or not have expectations of anything good happening, because after all, if they have a belief that they're unworthy or not good enough, they're going to also not put themselves out front or first. So it's really important that we uncover what patterns of behaviour they've got, and you'll notice these patterns of behaviour playing out in every part of your life, even today. So I'll get you to do that now. So just ask them, what patterns of behaviour have you formed because of that belief? Good. Excellent. Now, just like we have been doing, I'd like you to play the pattern back to them and let them know that they don't need to do that anymore, because you're going to love them no matter what they do or what they don't do. Good. Well done. So let's ask now, what other beliefs have they formed? What other beliefs are they sitting there? Because they'll probably have stuff like that they're not good enough, that there is a lot of shame around being who they are, or guilt. Good. Okay. Once again, depending what that belief is, I'd like you to play that belief back to them and let them know that it is not true. If they're saying that they're not good enough, then I want you to let them know that they are more than enough. They always have been, and they always, always will be. If they're talking about shame, I want you to let them know that the shame they feel is not actually theirs. The shame they feel has actually been projected onto them, most likely by a parent, but not definitely, but it's been projected onto them by whoever has made them feel like this. It's not their shame, and it is time for them to let it go. It's not theirs to carry. Good. And once again, let's look at what patterns they've formed because of this belief. And they're likely to have patterns as well that include not being able to say no. And I would say definitely they would tolerate toxic relationships and toxic behavior towards them. Good. Excellent. So once again, depending what the pattern is, play it back to them and let them know that they don't need to do that anymore. Excellent. Now, if you'd like to take more time and dive deeper, you're welcome to do that. Now, I'd like to give you the opportunity, though, that if there was somebody else involved in this scenario that made them feel unworthy or not good enough or ashamed of who they are, I'd like to give you the opportunity to invite that other energy in so that the other version of you that has got the wound is able to actually say the things that they need to say to this person. Because there'll be stuff that they want to say. And of course, if they're really little, you can hold them and you can jump in too. That's totally fine. And because it's your process, it's your visualization, when you invite the other energy in, all you need to do is imagine them sitting there. And if the person is quite intimidating, what I quite often do is I will shrink them down really small so that the other version of you doesn't feel intimidated. But I'll leave that to you. But remember, it's your visualization, so you can make it work however it is that you need it to. So just invite them in now and just let the other version say whatever it is they need to say. Don't dilute it. It's important that they just say it how it is. Good. And if there's anything that you need to hear from that person, like it might be that I'm so sorry, I didn't realize I'd done that to you, or I'm so sorry, you didn't deserve that. If there's something that they need to hear, just actually get the other person to say it to you now. Excellent. If you need more time, just pause the video and come back to it. Right, okay, so what we'll do is we'll let that other energy go now. They can leave. They don't need to be here anymore. And just coming back to the other version of you, what I'd like you to do is just first of all notice how they're feeling. Should be a lot better than what they were feeling a few minutes ago. Good, excellent. And what I'm going to get you to do now is we're actually going to bring in the healing energy now. So I want you to notice we're just bringing in a lot of violet light, shimmery violet light. So the violet alchemizes and transmutes. So it's going to change any of that negative energy into positive energy, which is exactly what we want. So let's just see the other version of you, and you, if you'd like, just completely wrapped up in that violet light. Because you, after all, are them. You just got bigger, that's all. Good. So completely surrounded in that beautiful shimmery violet light. And I want you to notice I'm actually handing them a beautiful clear quartz crystal with a rainbow radiating out of it. This is one of the tools from the Arcturians that have been shared with me to use in my healings. It's extremely powerful. It's each of the colors hold light codes, healing codes, and sacred geometry, and that will be absolutely perfect for you and what you need. So this can be any shape that comes to mind for you. And I want you to notice this beautiful, beautiful clear quartz crystal with the rainbow radiating out of it. And I want you to pop it into the part of the body where you were feeling the trigger before. So if it was in your heart, put it in your heart. If it was in your solar plexus, put it in your solar plexus. And I want you to notice as well, I'm just putting a golden drop. Now this is a golden drop of Christ conscious energy directly into that part too. And I want you to notice the gold really infusing that part of their body. Good. Excellent. Great. And so you've now got the rainbow radiating out from that part of their body. And I want you to notice the rainbow radiating all around their body, completely around their body, all that beautiful rainbow. And I'm just going to put a couple of drops of soft pink, so you've got that unconditional love, and again a couple of drops of the Christ conscious gold into your energy field. You will see those cascading through your energy field now. Oh, that's looking really good. You've done well. You've done really well. Good. So I want you to check in with your little one now and just ask them, how are they feeling? There's every chance that they're actually quite sleepy. I find that, especially in a children, usually fall asleep once we wrap them up in the energy, which is a great sign because it lets us know that they're ready to let go of the beliefs that they had been holding, and also the passioning, which is fantastic. So what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to shrink the other version of you down so they can fit in your hand. And I want you to just still keep them wrapped up in that beautiful rainbow with the soft pink and the gold, and just pop them into your heart. And when you're putting them in there, I want you to reassure them and let them know that they are so worthy of being loved, of living the life that they really, really want to live, and also of living in full joy. So let them know those things when you pop them into your heart, and also let them know that afterwards that it is time for them to rest. And of course, if there's anything else you'd like to say, just say that now. Cool. Well done. Excellent. You've done really well. So I'll get you to come back to now, and I want you to notice the beautiful rainbow completely surrounding you. Let's put some gold on the outside of your auric field too, shall we? And we'll put some more soft pink in there and a wee bit of gold inside your auric field. So you've got the rainbow, the soft pink and the gold all around you. Good, you've done an excellent job. And so what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to just have a tiny peek at the scenario you used earlier for your trigger. And I just want you to see, how do you feel now? Good. There should be a significant reduction in the angst you were feeling, if not a complete dissolving. This is a process you can do many times, though, if you needed to. Now, something that I would do, just a little bit of aftercare, I would be checking in on my little one each day for the next few days, maybe for the next week. So just actually imagine them in your heart. Now, they're probably going to sleep for a little while, for a few days, but if you feel like they need something else, they need more energy, just wrap them up in soft pink or in the rainbow or whatever color it is that you feel, not you think, but what you feel they need. Now, the other thing I would do, especially around the unworthiness, I would actually really actively start looking at what areas in your life are these patterns playing out about being unworthy, and I would be consciously looking to notice that when you were doing it and stop. Now, it's going to be much easier now because you've dissolved that energetic trauma. Okay, so now it's just a case of catching yourself in that habit and stopping. And again, you're not going to have that same overwhelming emotional pull to do what you used to do because we've dissolved it in this process. So it is easier to stop those patterns and those habits now after the process than it would have been before by a long way. Okay, look, I hope you really enjoyed that, and thank you so much for joining me. And as always, this guided healing has been offered to you with love and blessings. Thank you.